What is up, you guys? It's me, Sid. I'm back, and we are doing ACT practice test number 9. Not ACT, SAT test. SAT test practice test number 9. And we're doing the no calculator math section right now. And then we might move on to the calculator section later. If you're wondering, I believe the hardest practice SAT test available online is number 3. So if you want to go and take practice as number 3, I've done it. I've actually found that I'm better at the harder ones because while they're more challenging, if you understand the concepts, you tend to do better. That's kind of how I feel it is. But if you really want to challenge, go ahead and do number 3. But I feel like there are a lot of concepts that you can build it on, so you might look at it later. But I want to do number 9 because I just like going in backwards order. And I did all of practice test number 10. I found the whole thing to be ridiculously easy. Like, I want something a little bit harder, but not super hard like number 3, which isn't hard if you know everything, but more of the problems are challenging. Like, I did it first time, and there were a few questions even I myself had to look over. But and then I did a practice test later on of the no calculating calculator section, and then I sort of improved on it. See, the thing about SAT math, you guys, is you got to figure out like the form changes. Sometimes you'll see different problems, and you'll have different weaknesses that you have to look over and convert them into strengths, of course. But that's just the process. Some tests, generally, in my opinion, the SAT math section is usually with the no calculator part because they tend to be easier, more solvable. You don't really need a calculator to do it. And even for the math with calculator section, there are a lot of problems you can do without a calculator, but the numbers aren't always nice and neat, so you might need a calculator to deal with the bigger numbers. At least in my opinion. With the no calculator section, you might get some bigger numbers, but there are always tricks to dealing with those bigger numbers that you don't really need a calculator for. So usually the no calculator section is easier, but sometimes it can get harder. Like I've taken an SAT test before where the no calculator section was harder than the with calculator section. So sometimes it depends. Like it can almost fluctuate. So you never know. But yeah, we're gonna do this section. Not too bad, I believe. I think I've done it like a while ago, but I don't really remember. But shouldn't be that bad. But I think overall it's a really good practice, and I fully charged my calculator. So if you do get to the calculator section, I'll have it ready to go. Hopefully you guys are all situated. We can get started. And yeah, if you have any questions or any problem or anything, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, let's do this. All right. So, let me get my extension set up first. What do I use? I'll use the draw tool, right? Yeah, the page marker. There we go. Alright. Should be good to go now. Alright. Number 1. For the system of equations above, what is the value of x plus y? Alright. X plus y. So one easy thing could be just to solve for x and y separately, I believe. Because I don't think if we subtract it, we'll get what, negative y minus 2a. Let's solve individually. Easiest thing could just be we could either multiply this by 2 or the top equation by 2 and then subtract. Doesn't really matter. I'll multiply the bottom one by 2. So leave this as is. This will become 2x plus 4y. So I'm going to cancel out the x's next. 2x plus 4y equals 8. Alright, that's what we get. And then we will subtract. Alright, so the x's will cancel, so we'll end up with 0. And then here we have, so we're subtracting, right? So it's negative y minus 4y. So it's negative 5y. So we have negative 5y equals negative 5y equals 0. Is that what it is? So let's see, multiplied by 2, so that's 2x plus 4y. 2x plus 4 equals 0, so subtracted that. And then it's 8 minus 8, so yeah, so y equals 0. So y equals 0, then what, x equals 4? Yeah, that actually works out. So x plus y should be 4. And what is b? Alright, let's go on to the second one. Number 2. Alright. This one says, which of the following is equivalent to 2 times x squared minus x plus 3 times x squared minus x? So just remember this is 2x squared plus 3x squared, so we need a 5x squared. Let's see. And then we have minus 2x minus 3x. So it shouldn't be that. It should be a. Choose a. All right. Let's move on to number 3. This one, once the long statement is true about the graph of the equation, this. Let's simplify that out. I'll do it at the bottom here. So, just rearranging the equation, we get 2y is equal to 3x minus 4. So, make it hard to look at it now. It'll have a positive slope, and it will be a negative y-intercept. Number 3 is D. That's just negative y-intercept just means the value when x equals 0. And we're just going to divide this by 2 and this by 2. So this will become negative 2. So, yeah. Number 4. Okay, the front of a roller coaster car is at the bottom of a hill and is 15 feet above the ground. If the front of the roller coaster car rises at a constant of 8 feet per second, which is the equation that gives the height h in feet of the front of the roller coaster car s seconds. Okay, so constant rate, so we need 8s. So if it's not 8s, eliminate that. And what else does it say? Starts at 15 feet above the ground. So yeah, I believe. Let's see here. Should be A. 15 feet above the ground. Looks like it. Okay. Number 5. The equation above gives the amount seen in dollars and entering charges for his job. That takes 8 hours. He's hired. Work 2 hours longer. Okay. So this is the cost, and the electrician will 2 hours longer on Sanchez's job. So I'll write Sanchez with an S. So this is just number of hours. It's 2 hours. Worked 2 hours longer than on Mr. Rollins' job. So it's 2 plus R. So Sanchez's number of hours is 2 more than Ronald's. How much more did the electrician charge Mr. Sanchez than Mr. Ronald? So if it's 2 more hours, so what's the cost of 2 hours? 75 times 2, 150. 5C. Okay, number 6. Right here. Let's see, this one says the circle above has the center O. The length of arc ADC is 5 pi. So this is 5 pi, and x is 100. What is the length of arc ABC? Okay. Okay. So you can think of it like this. Think of it like S equals R theta. I like to think of it like that. S is basically the arc. Think R is the radius, and theta, I guess, is the degrees. We can solve for R. 5 pi. So I'll just write it over here. So we want the radius, alright? The radius is 5 pi s over theta, and that's given to be 100. So pi over 20. So pi over 20. And then just plug that in here. So ABC is, oh, wait, I believe, well, yeah, okay. This is, yeah, pi over 20, so that'll be the radius, pi over 20 times the degrees. So it's 100 minus 360, so I believe that's 260, because it's just the remaining part, right? ABC, that would be 260. So 260 over 120, and then pi. 13 over 6, wait, no, 260, oh, no, it's just 20, not 120. Okay, yeah, there we go, 13 pi. Alright, so that's number 6. Let's move on to number 7. Okay, if 8x over 6 is, if 8 over x is 160, what is value of x? Okay, so this is our numerator, so it's just 8 over 160, which is 105, fraction. One of those dang fractions. Okay, number 8. How are we doing time-wise? Not too bad. In the equation above, a is a constant. If no value of x satisfies the equation, what is the value of a? Okay, so notice how this has an x term. Let's combine our x terms together. So ax. So this is 3x plus 5x. So we're going to get 8x and then 15 and then this will be minus 5 and all, but that doesn't matter. So we'll get 15x. or not 15x, my bad, 3x plus 5x, this is 8x. So 2ax will equal the sum of our x terms, which is 8x, and that means 2a, we cancel out the x's, 2a equals 8, so a has to equal 4. Okay. And we're doing this because, see, now that, so here we get minus 15, but here we'll get 3 times 5, 15 minus 5, which is 10. So we'll get 8x minus 15 equals 8x minus 10. Just doesn't make sense. So A to C. Okay, let's do number 9. Okay, so we have what, like 1, 2, 3 equations? Yeah, so a system of 3 equations is graphed in the xy plane. How many solutions does the system have? How many solutions? Okay, so a solution is when all 3 meet up together. So this line is going this way. Okay, so there's some sort of connection happening right here, but how many connections? Well, here, how many lines are meeting up? At this particular point, we have this line, and this line, the parabola. 2 lines in the parabola. What about here? Here we have this line in the parabola, but this line isn't touching it. And here we have this line in the parabola, but this line isn't touching it. So only at one point are all 3 touching it. So there's one solution. So number 9 is B. Okay. Okay. Then let's do number 10. Where? At the top. Okay. The equation above is true for all x where a and b are constants. What is the value of AB? Okay. AB. Okay. So I'm assuming it's this. It's basically gonna turn out to be, let's see, it's gonna be something x squared, but how many x squared are we gonna have? This is gonna be an x cubed. We're gonna have 15x squared right here when we multiply this. So we're just looking at all the x squareds. This will be a cubed, this will be an x squared, this will just be 1x, this is an x squared, this will just be 1x, it'll just be a single coefficient term. So it's 15x squared minus abx squared minus abx squared, and then what's our x squared term on the right? Minus 9x squared. So that means that 15 minus ab is negative 9. Okay, so that means that if you move AB to the right, and 9 here, so it's 15 plus 9, so that's 24. Okay, C, our answer. Number 11, right here. X over x minus 3 is 2x over 2. Which of the following represents all possibilities of x that satisfy the equation above? So what could satisfy this equation? So if we were to cross multiply, we'd get 2x. Or better yet, why don't we just plug in numbers? I'm tired, y'all. If we do 0, we'll get 0 here and 0 here, which will give us 0 equals 0. That works. 2, if we plug in 2, we'll get 2 over 2 minus 3. That's 2 over 2 minus 3. That's negative 2. Then here we'll get like a positive number. Yeah, that won't work. 4, will 4 work? Well, we know 0 is a solution, so let's try 0 and 4. 4 and 4 minus 3 is 1, so this gives us 4. If you plug in 4 here, we'll get 2 times 4 is 8 over 2, which is 4. So 0 and 4 both work. So number 11 is B. Alright. Yeah, for this one, I feel like plugging in numbers is the solution. Good amount of time. Alright, number 12. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above for x is greater than 0? So for x is greater than 0, we can cross multiply, right? This will be what? 10x. Imagine we multiply these terms together. This will be 10x plus 5. Right? 10x plus 5. And then you're adding 1, 10x plus 6. So which one is 10x plus 6 over 2x plus 1? D. So number 12 is D. Okay, number 13. The graph of the function f in the xy plane above is a parabola. Which of the following defines f? Defines f. So, this is in vertex form. So we're going to have a slope, and then, so it's going to be some a times our vertex point, that's 3, 1. So it'll be x minus 3 squared plus 1. So look for something like that. X minus 3 squared plus 1. So this doesn't have it. This doesn't have it. Now the question is our slope, or is our a1 or is our a4? Let's try 4. Let's try this point, 4, 5. So if you plug in 4 for x, it's going to be 3 minus 1, which is 1 squared is 1, and 4 plus 1 is 5. If you plug in 2, 2 minus 3 is negative 1, but that's also 5. If you try to plug in a 2 here, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Yeah, that doesn't work. Our answer is A. So yeah, 13 is A. Alright, number 14. Okay, this is an inequality. It says, in which of the following does the shaded region above represent the set in the x-rated plane to the system inequality shown above? Alright, so we're looking for something that, actually I'll zoom out a little bit so we can look at all our answer choices. There we go. Looking for something that says, okay, y is greater than or equal to x plus 2. So something like that, and we're going to shade up. So imagine this. So if we have x plus 2, so 2 would be right here, and then it's a positive line, like this. It didn't touch the line, but whatever. And it will be, then we're going to shade up because it's greater than, so we'll shade up in this area. Okay? Alright. Hold up, y'all. I'm so mad. I drew it wrong. It's going to be 2, and it's going to go upwards. That is positive slope. And we're going to shade up with this. There we go. That's how it should be. And we have a dot, and this is 2, because when x is 0, y is 2. That's positive slope. There we go. This one, what will the slope be? So this is 3y less than or equal to negative 2x plus 6. Divide this whole thing by 3. So y less than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 2. So this will also intersect at 2. Let me do a different color for our other line. Let's try blue. So this one will also meet up at 2. And this will have a slope of negative 2/3. So we're going to, let's see, rise 2, so in this case fall 2, and then run 3. So fall, run 3, I'll say somewhere around here. It's negative slope. So I'll just join these two lines together to the best of my abilities. And we're shading, we're below. Shading below. So like here we shaded above. You can see and we shade above here, solid line. And while it is here, alright, shade below. So this area, what's actually under that. So where does it meet up? It meets up right around here, right? The red and the blue, that's what we're looking for. Yeah? Meets up right around there. Which one shows something like that? Looks like B. Yep, that's it. 14 is B. Alright. Number 15. Okay, what is the set of solutions to this equation? Okay, square root of x plus 2 equals negative x. So for this one, let's say you plug in, or actually no, let's actually try to solve this one. You could square both sides, and you'd get x plus 2. You'd get x plus 2 equals x squared. I'm thinking, okay. I mean, you could factor this, right? Could be? Would be what? X squared minus, wouldn't it just be x? Yeah, actually, I don't want to factor it. Let's plug in numbers. Let's try negative 1. Negative 1 plus 2, that's 1. Square root of 1 is 1. Is 1 equal to negative 1? So if you do plug in negative 1, yeah, you get 1, right? Square root of 1 is 1. If you plug in 2, square root of 4 is 2. Let's also say 2 equals negative 2. If you take the negative solution, yes, we got negative 1. If you take the negative solution of 2, you'll definitely get negative 2. But let's see here. if you take in 1 or negative 1. Oh, wait, y'all, never mind. So this is negative 1, but then it's negative x, so times negative 1. So yeah, that's the one that works. 15 is B. 15 is B. Okay, because it's negative 1 plus 2, which is 1, and the negative 1 times 1 is 1. So that works. Alright, 16 through 20, the grid ends. Okay. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a right rectangular prism that has a length of 4, a width of 9, and a height of 10? Rectangular prism. Okay. So for this one, all we gotta do is just multiply the length, width, and height. 360. Boom. 17. If x satisfies the equation above, what is the value of 2x plus 1? So, let's see, I think 4x equals negative 2, so it's negative 1/2. That's what x is anyway, right? Negative 1/2. Is it? Well, we need it's just 1/2. It's just a half. Yeah, that works. And so, plug in a half here. That's 1 plus 1. That's 2. 18. What is the maximum value of the function g? Alright, the maximum value of the function g. So, for this equation, f of x, maximum value right here is 2. So 2 plus 6 would be 8. Okay, last 2 to go. Triangle PQR has a right angle Q. So I'm going to try to draw that. Like so, like this. PQR, and we're wrong with the information given. To the best of my abilities. If sine r is 4/5, so sine. So this is r. So this would be PQ of the hypotenuse. What is the value of tan P? So I would say that, let's say that this is 4, and this is 5, and this would be 3, and tan P would be opposite over adjacent. So 3/4. Okay. And last but not least, the graph of the linear function f is shown in the xy plane. The graph of the linear function g, not shown, is perpendicular, passes through the point 1, 3, so it passes through this point. What is the value of g of 0? So perpendicular just means it's the opposite reciprocal slope. So let's go ahead and see if you can find what the opposite reciprocal slope would be. This has a slope of what? F of x. I'll just say f of x is equal to, what's the slope? So it is a negative slope. And as we go 1, 2, the slope of negative 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, yeah, this is negative 2. Okay, that's fine. And the opposite reciprocal would be positive 1/2. So g sub x should be 1/2. And then if you plug in 1, that's a half. It would be a half plus 1 would give us 3. It's a half x plus, well, 3 is 6/2, so 5/2. Yeah, that would work, 5/2. G sub 0 is 5/2. Alright. That's it, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. And this has been a blast. I think we finished in time, right? What? 25 minutes? Yeah. So we're done, y'all. I will make part 2 where we will do the calculator section. So see y'all then. And if you have any questions, just let me know down below in the comments. Thank you all for watching. See y'all next time.